What makes a good keychain light? Well, Olight has figured it out. Welcome back to Shul Lights. Today, I've got the Olight iMorse. This is a little itty bitty keychain light with a good feature set and a refined shape that really addresses issues people have had with keychain lights in the past. So let's take a look at it size-wise against other small lights. This is not a keychain light, this pineapple, but I throw it in there for size reference. Here we got the iMorse right there. We got a Rovivon Angel Eyes E3, and then we got a Lumen Top Frog. And you can see that the iMorse is about the size of a frog, which is an insanely small light. So this makes a very tiny, svelte little keychain light. Now let's get into why you should buy the iMorse. Why does it make a very excellent light? Well, for one thing, while Lumen Top did the kind of, I guess, cool thing about using a non-proprietary battery, the bad thing is it is 80 milliamp hours. It is infinitesimally small. And so it's just like there's all this extra space in here, right? There's like the canister and you have to make the threads to close this thing. It's like, I kind of feel like there's wasted space, right? If you look at a phone like the iPhone, one of the biggest arguments for why there's no replaceable battery is because they wanted to eschew that battery compartment. They wanted to get that space back. So the Olight has a built-in LiPo battery, and when you unscrew it like this all the way, a captive sheath comes forward and you got a USB-C charging port right there. So charging is easy, simplified, standard, built in. But the LiPo that's included has a much longer runtime than would be included on the Frog. Also, if you take a look at something like the Rovivon, obviously it's a lot smaller than the Rovivon. It's about the same width, and then it's less tall, and obviously the other width is obviously about half. But one of the big things that people weren't a big fan of about the Rovivon was it had a very complicated interface where, you had to tap and double tap and sometimes 4-tap to change power sources. Well, this one just kind of simplifies all that. So, it just gives you light. Basically, you have two modes. You twist it and it goes on to low, then you twist further and it goes to high. So that's a very simple to use interface. You got low when you want to turn it on for a long time, and high for when you want to blast for a short time. Very simple, easy to use. Now notice that it's a twisty. Twisty is awesome because buttons definitely get accidentally pressed on your keychain, but a twist doesn't really happen. I mean, you're not gonna have accidental activation. Twists are ideal for a keychain or a pocket. Now, one complaint about let's say the i3 on Olight, which has like a twisty head that comes off, like this pineapple, is that some people that I know say they've had those, and over time, the head is accidentally twisted enough to where it's fallen off like that, and then they lost half their light. They just looked at their keychain, and there was just like, the end of the light just dangling there. And so that was a done deal, and that light had to be replaced. Well, this light, the iMorse, solves that by making this captive. This doesn't come off. So once it unscrews and springs forward and reveals that USB-C charging, then it's stuck. So I think that this is a really good design feature and evolution to solve problems that we have with keychain lights. Also, while, a cylindrical light like this might not be super sexy, the fact of the matter is it's so good for your keychain. Having a round light like this just means that it doesn't kind of protrude in your pocket. Your keys move around it easily. I find that when I put lights that have kind of like a square or odd shape onto my keychain, it's always an issue. So again, all I can say is this is a very well-designed keychain light. All right, let's quickly go over the box. It comes in a small little cardboard box that in order to open, you got to tear it open. It's got a little tear thing here and it's glued at the bottom. Inside, there's not much fanfare. There's a little pamphlet here and a USB-C cable. That's the extent of what is included in the box. However, I want to point out that on the back we have some stats here, and I found it to exceed these stats. There's a low and a high. The The low is about 5 lumens. We'll take a look on the lumen tube in a moment. There's a high, which says it's about 180 lumens. I found it exceeded that a little bit. And the run times are 12 hours for low and 23 minutes for high. You also got the candela here, or the distance, and they're saying 10 meters and about roughly 50 meters. Now, one of the things that they don't put on here is they don't put the CCT or the tint, and I'm going to measure that with my Sekonic in a moment. And guys, I found it to be very good. So let's take a look at the lumens. Let's take a look at the lumens. So I will twist this until it turns on. And you can see that, as I said, I got a little bit over 5 lumens. I got 8 lumens. And then when you twist it some more, I am now getting 210 lumens. So they claimed 180. So maybe theirs was at ANSI, or maybe they just underrate their lights. But, you know, I've historically seen that Olight is very reasonable with their lumens. They say it on the box and it delivers, unlike some manufacturers, actually unlike most manufacturers. So good for them. All right, let's measure the CCT and tint. So I've got this on low, and let's go ahead and give a measurement here. And you can see that it's 5000 K, so that's a neutral white and almost dead neutral on low. Now let's go to high, and I found it was even slightly better on high. Look at that, guys. 5200 and rosy. So again, not so rosy to where anyone would have a problem, but that's going to make a beautiful light. Now, it is low CRI, but again, as I told you, CRI doesn't actually matter as much as many people think it does. The tint is the #1 factor. And as I told someone else when I was reviewing this light, I would much rather have an efficient low CRI emitter in a keychain light. You put a high CRI emitter in there, and it's just going to take more power and run out faster. All right, guys, I was talking about Ofanday. Let me give you a little bit more details. I got it from my rep from Olight. Now, if you know me, you know I would not recommend a product just because, you know, some company was pushing it. I'm only going to recommend it if I believe in it. And this is my favorite EDC right now. I love this light. As I said before, you can take a look at my, kind of controversial Warrior 3S video. Anyways, these two lights are excellent. If you want an EDC that's small, you want one that you don't have to emitter swap, and it comes with a neutral white already, this is the one. And if you need an excellent keychain light, this iMorse is stellar. So I'm here talking about Ofanday. It's going to be between September 20th and September 23rd. And if you make a purchase between that period, one lucky winner on my channel will get their order for free, and I'll announce it on the 24th. Also, if you've already signed up with the Olight website before and you make an order, you get a free iMorse gunmetal gray, I should say. This is the one for free. This is a $21.99 light, $21.99, and you get it for free with any purchase during Ofan And if you have not signed up on the site before, then they're going to give you a free i3E antique bronze keychain light. It's a little bit longer and it's a little bit thinner, just a little bit different design. But that one's valued at $12.99. So again, guys, Ofanday, if you're planning on making an order, I would make it during the 20th to 23rd, and I hope you win. All right, we're in the garage for some beam shots. Let's take a look at the iMorse and how it would operate in the real world. I'll always keep the iMorse on the left side of the screen, and then in the middle, I'll have a Falmov EDC because it's around the same size. And then on the right, we'll have the Lumen Top Frog. Let me go ahead and turn off this source light here. And note that I got the exposure locked, and I got the color locked as well. We're at daylight 5000K for the CCT for the video, and the exposure is locked to what I feel it looks like to my dark adapted eye. And I'm on low on the iMorse right now. I'll go ahead and go to high, and that is what high looks like to my dark adapted eye. So that's around 200 lumens, as I said. And if that looks really bright, well, it looks bright to my dark adapted eye, and that door is only about 10 feet away. Now let's compare it on low to the Falmov. Get the Falmov in the middle here. And you can see that the beam profile of the iMorse, which is on screen right now, is really nice and even and defined, whereas the Folamov kind of, it's a little more floody and a little less it's a little like ill-defined. Now, I don't mind it. It's a good beam, but I prefer the iMorse TIR. And let's put on the very right now, so I got these set up, let's put the frog, add it to the mix. And you can see the frog is considerably warmer because the iMorse here on the left is 5000K. The Folamov is around 6000, I believe. And the frog is 4000K. But let me drop the Folamov for a second and just show you the iMorse on the left and the frog on the right. And I want to point out the frog has a narrower beam, and I don't like it as much. I find it less useful because these objects are kind of far away for a keychain light. I mean, we're talking about 10 feet, and it's still pretty narrow. I like that this is more even and wider. Let me move the camera over to this location in my garage, and let's take a look at how that looks on real world objects. Now I'll switch to the frog, and you can see the frog, it's more horror show, right? It's more like, well, I can't see, like I'm only looking at one little spot. So I like how the iMorse handles it. And then of course, if you throw it on a high, the spill just lights up everything. So what a great little light. And you know, we just talked about Ofan Day, but if you want to buy this light, I've got a coupon code and links to this light in the description below my video. So go check it out. Remember to make your purchase during Ofan Day for a chance to get a free order. This is a phenomenal keychain light. In fact, at the moment, it's my favorite. None of the other keychain lights I have supersede this one. For size, usability, tint, just everything about it, it just hits all marks. So I can't rave about this thing enough, and I wish everybody would make thoughtful keychain lights like this. You really don't want all the bells and whistles, folks. You just want it to do what it should do and do it well, and the iMorse from Olight does that. Remember, it comes in two tints. You got a cool white and a neutral white. I think you should get the neutral white. I mean, it's got stellar tint and CCT. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.